Just after 4:15 p.m., the Gwinnett County Police Department responded to a vehicle accident at the intersection of Shadburn Ferry Road and Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. When officers first arrived on scene, they heard from witnesses that a male had gotten out of one of the vehicles involved in the car accident and run off with what was described as a long rifle. As officers began setting up around the accident scene, they were alerted to gunshots that were going off in the area and located a vehicle that had been carjacked. That vehicle fled from officers when they attempted to pull it over and fled into Shoals Creek Park. Officers continued to follow that vehicle into the park. The vehicle eventually crashed into the lake. The suspect at some point in time, either from inside the car or got out of the car, began firing upon officers as they pulled up on the vehicle. One of our vehicles was struck multiple times. Officers returned fire after being fired upon, and the suspect in this case was just located inside the lake next to his vehicle, and he is deceased.
Okay. And so this suspect was the same from this original accident. Did you locate the weapon? Was it an AK rifle? An AK style rifle?
Investigators are still processing the scene to try and to find the weapon that was used in this shooting. We anticipate that we will be out here for several hours continuing to process the scene. The GBI has also been called in to take over this investigation since it involves some of our officers that were involved in the shooting.
And sorry, go ahead.
Just for clarification on how the lake is involved with him, did he crash into it, or was it he got out of the vehicle and stumbled into the lake? Are you sure about that? Or?
We know from this investigation thus far that he crashed his vehicle into the lake. We're not sure if he got out of the vehicle once he was already in the water or if he got out just prior to, but he did crash the vehicle into the lake.
And he was shooting while he was inside that lake, right?
He was shooting at officers as he was getting out of the vehicle.
Okay. Do we know the identity of this guy?
At this time, we are withholding the information on the identity of the deceased until the next of kin can be located.
Did he die from the shots of the fire that the officers fired?
Investigators are still trying to determine that. That will come out as the investigation is cleared up.
Okay. And just to clarify, no one in that original accident was injured, no officers were injured, and the carjacking suspect was not injured, correct?
The people that were involved in the original vehicle accident had minor injuries. They were released on scene. No officers were injured in the incident, and the vehicle that was carjacked, that person is also okay, and they are not harmed.
And for your department, how does it make you all feel to see something like this happen? It just seems so surreal.
Obviously, we're going to continue to investigate to find out exactly what happened and why this person chose the actions that he chose here tonight, and we will continue to do that until we can get all the answers that we can.
And no one else was in that car that he took, correct? The carjacking suspect was just alone. It was a sole driver. No one else was in the car.
Right. At this time, we believe the suspect was the only person involved in the vehicle or in the vehicle at the time of the shooting. We don't believe anyone else will be located.
And were any children in the original accident?
I don't have information on who was in the original accident. All I can tell you is that there were minor injuries and they were all released on scene.
Thank you. Anything else?
Do you have anything you could tell us about, I guess, maybe you've interviewed people who were involved in the accident who may think that how this even led to this happening?
Investigators are going to continue to interview all the people that were involved in the original accident to see if they can identify some clue as to why this person chose to act the way that he did here tonight. But until investigators have the opportunity to speak with that person, I can't make any statements on what they will say.